you saying?
Oh, so one question I had was, I think
Hey, what's up?
kind of graced this topic was just the idea of like trying to like get people to see like your worldview or like your point of view on dressing. And part of me,
Yeah.
like, I don't mind sharing like my thoughts on like fashion and style, obviously. Hence me being here tonight. But do we actually want to see everyone agree with us?
No.
Just from a standpoint,
No, probably
like,
not.
I don't want,
That's whole mentality.
like,
then
is
it's
it,
not
like,
cool
part
anymore.
of it, like being like yeah, like if everyone is cool like me,
being...
then am I still cool? Like
I'm not unique with everyone else.
Yeah, don't we all want to be like a little bit, just a little bit selfish? Like I want other people who I think are cool to like be on the same page with me, but like
not
I don't
everybody.
need all these uncool jokers to be the same
I would say that just, I mean, my counter would be, you can, just because you get something doesn't mean you have to do it. You know what I mean? Like I like indie films, but honestly, I don't watch them as nearly as much as Spencer or many other film friends, right? Or just like my friend Adam, he's always talking about indie films and whatever. But I still enjoy them and I understand them and I get the art behind it, right? Just like how abstract art, but they don't have to do abstract art, right? So I think like but because fashion has this kind of like you have to get into it to be respect in your workplace, which we thankfully us in the podcast listeners don't have that view, but because people assume that, it makes it pretty hard. Yeah, you don't have to wear a sport coat, but it would be nice if you got the idea that you don't have to be a banker to wear one or whatever. Like I think it's just nice that way. We're all just a community of people, doing stuff without the whole. Well, that guy is clearly trying to be a stuck up guy who wants to go to the cigar.
Yeah, everyone.
Right.
No one wants to be the stuck up cigar guy.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Yoshi, in answer to your question though, I don't think I'd mind if everyone started dressing basically the same way I did. Of course, in this hypothetical, it's a very
agree with me.
There are many barriers.
Do it.
There are many barriers to get to that point. You need to get a level of experience. You can't just everyone can't just suddenly start wearing corduroy jackets and tweeds and white trousers all of a sudden. But even if they did, I really don't think I'd mind. And I get. So what is it for you guys then? You're like, there's a part of you that wants to be different, that needs to be different, that needs to stand out in some way. You can't fall in line.
Well, no, I think it would be kind of.
No,
I think think every. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, kind of, but also I think it would just be kind of boring if everyone dressed like me.
Well, yeah, I mean, my whole thing is. Well, go ahead, Kiyoshi. What?
Oh, it'd be like Star Trek, where you're in Starfleet and you get like one of 3 uniform choices, like
or the Tom Brown thing where everyone dresses the same.
Please, thing. God, not security red. Please, not security.
Anything but
engineer red. Please, anything. Every time they're like, "Hey, security guys, come with me, or we're gonna go fix something in the engine," you know that one of them is gonna die. Some alien's gonna kill you, or the fucking engine's gonna explode and suck you out into space. It's one of those 2 things. But to go with all just what you're saying, I mean, again, my ideal world is the baller as hell. Like that's because we both get it. We both are like doing this thing, right? Like that's, and even if a guy wants to be basic bastard next to us, but I don't want anyone to think that we're better than each other. That the basic bastard guy, he thinks he's better because he's not being too bold. The Rick Owens guy doesn't think he's better because he's post classic menswear. I don't think I'm better just because I'm wearing a tie, right? I think it's all kind of the same thing. And of course, there's also my bet. I have biases where sometimes I think that the basic bastard people could benefit from a little bit of an open mind. I know not every basic bastard guy thinks that basic is superior, right? There are guys out there who just like to dress the way that they to dress plainly, and that's what makes them happy because they want to I was gonna say their character, exude their character in other mediums, and that's fine too. But again, I think we don't get there unless we all have this understanding of clothing. Because again, when people ask me what they want to wear, I mean, I'm glad to help out, but
I
think
want to know
I
what
think because we know
Kiyoshi
that,
is saying though. When he talks about everyone dressing the same, it seems like now that you guys have added to it, that with that you were thinking of people wearing the same red shirts or blue shirts, and having that
Well,
sort of communal
not
activity.
even
the
that.
idea-
No.
It's not. No, I don't want to be. It's nice to be around the classic. Again, there's so many nuance, right? So much nuance, I should say.
Well, then I guess even for a hypothetical, then if everyone had spearpoint collared shirts in their closet and shortish ties and wore those all the time, would that bother you? If everyone had
No.
Ivy stuff and spearpoint shirts, no, right?
No, that doesn't bother me. But I would be concerned if they did it because I was doing it or because they thought it was the best one. That's where that's where I started to draw the line. I mean, it's more so the idea that people are wearing longer shirt collars, and soft shirt collars. That's fine, but and you can wear spear point if you want to. You don't gotta do that.
You can leave your
Just 'cause,
friends
just 'cause
behind.
I think
No,
because
man, that's
we know that it's not gonna become like a mainstream thing that we
No,
can't have
that's my thing.
push
I
and
can't
pull.
buy into the scenario.
Yeah.
Because then it just turns into because then it just turns into a thought experiment where it's like, oh, what if everybody always
And
wore
I hate
high
those.
rise? Yeah,
No.
I mean that's why I bring it up because it's the same thing. It's like, well, if everybody wears high rise wide leg pants, then I'm gonna start wearing low rise like slim tapered
We
pants all
rebel.
the time. Yeah, so it's like
Yeah.
you can't. There's no end
You
game.
can't. Yeah. No event. Yeah. It
It's
ended with just Infinity
absolutely
War.
unrealistic, but it could have showed maybe a difference in basic character. I think.
Sure.
Whether
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
My
I
large
get
some
that.
people
like,
would not want to. I can't remember who it was, but I think maybe in the I Am Dandy books when they've asked people like, would you like people to wear the same things you do, and there were people who were saying like, I think it would kill that person if people started wearing the stuff he wore. There's a part of him that needs to be unique. And
But I think something with
that
all of us
hypothetical-
is that we have multiple, like, we don't have a one look. Like right now I'm wearing a t-shirt and sweatpants, and then I just have I'm cold, so I'm wearing a cardigan. But if I just had the t-shirt and sweatpants and sneakers, that's like a look a lot of people do. But that's not to say that
that's true.
that
We don't
means
have
I
a-
have the
we don't
same
have a
style
difference with that.
as everyone else does, as these college people do that wear the same thing. This is a part of all the other things I do. So it's just because people dress in one template doesn't mean that they're all dressing in that same style.
I will note, and once again, it's
The
not
Knights
something mandatory, but if we did want to play Among Us tonight, it is 9:15, so just keep that in mind.
I got it.
For you.
Don't worry
Yeah.
about it. No, I think well, I think the idea of the thought experiment is dumb because I don't like thought experiments in general. But
THOT.
I mean, yeah, like whenever I talk about how I want people to get it, I know that's like I know that's all talk, right? I mean, we all understand that. Like, it's never gonna happen because of how people react to all this kind of thing. But like Matt said, there's also nuance too. So no one's ever gonna dress exactly the way I do, and I don't want to preach it that way. And I don't think I've ever preached it. Hopefully, if I don't come across it, guys, but I don't want anyone to dress like me. I want people to just understand the thought process and apply that to whatever that is for them, right? So. And it's like after being exposed to so many things, I've decided. I mean, I didn't try out streetwear, but like I'm familiar with the brands and the approach. I just decided that classic menswear or my approach to it was the way that was good for me. And I think MJ did that too. Adam does that too, and none of us dress alike. So I think that should show it, right?
Yeah.
That should
Right.
show it.
I'm gonna write this down at 1:16. So this is done.
Time of death.
Time of death.